Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Café Scientifique 14.0 with the IT job market trends full watch in 2023. And let's start. First, welcome my guests here. I'm super happy. I have no words to have these monsters of teams here to discuss all we need to discuss today. Ms. Swati, Ms. Jana, and Mr. Asit Dutta. So first, let's start from the top. Let's do a little introduction of ourselves. Please, let's start at home, right, with our lecture. Please.
Yes. My name is Swati, and I'm the Vice Dean of the Faculty of Business. And today we are talking about the IT trends market, especially in 2023, with our prestigious guests, Ms. Jana and Mr. Asit. So could you please tell something about yourself?
Sure. My name is Jana. I'm the CEO of Integration Works and also for my own business, the CEO. And 25 years or whatever IT experience, and I like it. So, and I'm really impressed to be here to talk with you here about this topic, IT market and trends.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope I can give something to you from my experience and my ideas. Asit?
Yeah, hi, my name is Ashit. I'm the head of talent acquisition at Integration Works. My history is very easy. I've been doing around 12 years of headhunting in the IT field in Germany, based in Berlin. And now I'm the in-house recruiter at Integration Works and trying to find the new talents at our company, and can be from IT to salespeople, even to HR, and that's basically my designation right now, and I'm very happy to be here.
Nice to hear that. Thank you very much for coming here. I should give a special thank for Ms. Swati to make this connection possible. Thank you very much. And of course, thanks our guests and the SBI team, right, to be here and helping me, making this event possible. Let's go. IT job market 2023. When I first thought about this idea, I was like, okay, you have one hand, a lot of jobs, a lot of good opportunities, and a lot of things happening so fast. And on the other hand, we have layoffs. So for my first question, I want to hear from your thoughts about this very complex job market that we have, and your first ideas when we listen, okay, you have IT, people can work from home, now we have like a very nice work balance, but at the end of the day, you also have layoffs, and we feel insecure about it. How is it?
Well, I think it's definitely a longer story to tell where it actually started.
You have time.
Yeah, I know. So basically, I think due to the COVID time, there were a lot of hiring done by big companies, and especially in Berlin by a lot of. I don't want to mention any names. Like it can be retail or fintech companies.
We want to know the names.
in a later conversation.
Okay,
for sure,
okay.
Don't go to this company, but they were hiring too much definitely, and also. Trying to do this on and offshore thing with different countries, which they have realized it's not working out with a lot of, let's say, products, clients, and expertise, So they started actually laying off a lot of offshore outsourcing countries, you can say, and even people who came from, let's say, from India, they came hired by these companies, got sacked, and they had to really look for the next job, and that's what I got to know in 2021, 2022, and even in the beginning after 23, that a lot of people, approached me, or because there are hundreds of lists actually available in LinkedIn where people are looking crazily for jobs, and they're high-skilled people, and in my case, the job market is still active and it's very hot, but you have to specialize in what kind of field you want to, be the next IT talent, and I think if you go further and talk individually to some people, I can, we can give them some tips, but it's difficult to tell what is one reason or that reason, but hiring is still going on. We have good requirements of people who can speak German and English, or just English, which is fine, but as it is Germany, there's always this German-speaking part, where a lot of mid-sized companies owned by their forefathers and so on, and they will never maybe change the culture or the language, you know. Plus, we are a country of banks and insurances, you know, and you know how it is to go to the Ausländerbehörde or to any Bezirksamt. They will ask 3 times in German, what do you mean, you know, in German. So I think even Germany, and especially places like Berlin, Munich, and Hamburg, they keep on changing, you know, in terms of language and also technology. Everything becomes AI, you know. But I think it's very important to always follow the trends, you know, what's happening, you know, in Berlin or wherever you are currently, and you know, study state-of-the-art things. So, I mean, like, you can still study one good language, you know, one basic language, you know, and be strong in this. And especially in Berlin, you have to be very much specialized. You know, don't do, I know PHP, data analyst, and Java, so I am 5 years experience. No, I know data science since 5 years or 3 years. I learned it, you know, that's my passion, you know, and I want to do this for the next 5 years, you know. It's like a fashion, you know, it's like keeps on changing.
It's a good point, actually.
I know.
Yes.
So today it's R, and then it's Kafka, or you know, Hadoop, you know, I don't know, you know. So I just read it in the CVs actually, but definitely I also was following the trends, you know, when it came to changing from Magento to Node.js all of a sudden, you know. And I was asking my candidates, okay, why it's changing all of a sudden? You know? They were giving me the explanation, you know. So from the recruiter point of view, I can just tell you, and of course you, that it's very important to follow the news, you know. Also, there are definitely political things behind this, you know, where we were also discussing why things are happening so rapidly with big companies like Google, Microsoft, you know. But anyways, we are in Berlin, so we have to take care of what's happening here.
Yeah,
So,
always.
and that just would be my opinion about that lovely question.
Can I call you by your first name?
Yes,
Miss
please.
Jana?
Sure.
You present yourself by Jana, so I
Yeah.
call you by your first name, right?
It's much more easier
Yeah,
just
easier.
to stay on the first name. From my perspective, is about this. There is also a good opportunity for companies with these layoffs to fill up the open positions. And this is not all about the newest trend. Yeah, the topic is how I'm capable to learn new things. Do I'm open-minded to want to do something new, and or I'm only fixed to some technology. So this is something to learn. The principle is important, but also to learn, just try something new out and be flexible and going out and searching for. The other way is, of course, the pandemic, the trend to go more local and not only more global. And then comes this decentralized working together. So where decentralized working together, how it can be backed, also based on technology, of course, to have then the reliable contracts, to trust each other, to find ways how you can trust each other. And therefore you need all this technology you are talking about this. Nobody can know this by one person.
Sure.
So, but what you have to learn is how to read, how to try it out, how to interpret some trends and not getting crazy because currently is a hype. Yeah?
Sure.
And this is the most important part. This I can say only from my age and my number of years I'm working in the IT spectrum, and this, it's always being very, very interesting.
Can I ask you a little bit more about this global and local? Because I do this with my students. These how can I say, contracts between local and global, and why you think the trend for, I would say 2022 or even further on, right? It will be local.
Because one is the pandemic is first coming, that all the borders are broken. They had to find ways how to interact to each other. And the technology is now proven that you can work everywhere you want. And also the pricing will be balanced. We will not have anymore the nearshore, offshore, and whatever pricing situation. This is changing. And this is a big challenge also for companies here in Germany.
Sure.
So we are now going maybe abroad, searching for people, for resources, and to get them, we give them higher prices because there are a lot of numbers of recruiters, they are also going there. So, and this is okay because they are also very high qualified. They study somewhere in the world, so maybe also somehow better qualified as we, or they came from a completely different environment where digitalization is not a discussion.
Yes.
It's just a habit already.
Yeah.
And so we will work on more local organization. They are incorporating in ecosystems together. And the ecosystem part is the part to be more flexible. What do you need now and not tomorrow? Whatever you speak about now, bring the company to you in your ecosystem and then you phase it out again when you are changing maybe your strategy and so on, but not phasing out in a negative way. You have your cooperation contracts, supporting each other, but the other focus in this moment.
Incredible. And it's very clear this relationship because at the end of the day, you go local, but you hire global. It is so interesting.
Yes, there's also a nice speak. Yeah, think global, act local.
Okay,
Yeah.
exactly. It's exactly this. And
Yeah, so my question, maybe it's more to you. As being a recruiter, do you feel a widened gap between the IT skills and the knowledge? Means it is like always suspect that people who has the knowledge, they don't have enough IT skills. Do you feel the same way?
It's a good question, actually, and I was reading this, of course, before.
That's why.
It is like, I think what important is the experience, you know,
Okay.
working in a company. For students or for freshers, definitely
Yes.
there's no way of being experienced, right? And if I look into a CV, hey, no experience in any company, but at least an internship is there in, let's say, in one of the local companies, you know, that matters, you know. So if it comes to experience, at least, and they are like from the HR with two things. One is the skilled way, like how much skilled you worked in, or like, for example, you're studying data science,
Yeah.
you know, and you learn different
Yes.
technologies
Yes.
and programming languages, and then you do an internship,
Okay.
you know, so that's one thing. Now you are, let's say you are a foreigner, you know, so the cultural fit, the company
Yes.
fit, which is a different topic, you know, all these things will mix together to make it a good-looking CV, you know, or a good-looking candidate, sorry, yeah. Then as a recruiter, I might select that person rather than a person who comes from China or Russia or Ukraine or Italy or India, you know, without having any knowledge about here, you know. So I think now the thing is we are looking for skills, but the people actually are here to, you know, to design it and to improve the skills, you know. So skills is not really what matters, you know. So.
But I have a question here. Like you were talking about the internship also. Maybe this is the question on behalf of the students.
Sure.
Means even for internship, when they are applying for, especially when it comes to IT,
Yeah.
that is also sometimes recruiter asks, okay, we need little bit skills on it.
Yes.
How would it be possible? Means at least some experience, because as they are already fresher and they are applying for their first internship.
Yeah.
So what suggestion you can give to them?
I mean, like, if it's like but an internship, like anyways, I thought like students always have to look
yes,
for
they are looking
internship.
for working
Yeah.
student jobs and
Yeah, exactly.
internship definitely in
Yeah.
their own role areas and
Yeah.
everything. But sometimes, let's say, out of 10, just 4 or 5 companies, they are still looking from skills from the background. So do you
Yeah.
suggest them to have some extra certification course? How would you
Certificate
think?
is just a paper, no? So it's
Yes.
more the knowledge and experience is difficult. I mean, like, definitely those companies are not wisely taking people. It's more about the benefits of the companies for us. You know, we are hiring working students or interns to have them one day for us, you
Yes.
know? Definitely we have even a person recently, like a working student from Munich, and we just found out his personality is such a good fit to us, where everybody would look for such a person, frankly speaking. I went to Munich to, we got to know him in Munich, Jan and me together. I met him in Munich, like, this is a person we should hire directly.
Yeah.
But he is also studying data science or something like this, you know, or data analyst, you know. So it comes with time, you know, and but some of the companies, as you mentioned, who are looking for skills, I think that's very difficult, you know, for the person, you know, that the person will get frustrated and
Yes.
like disappointed. Okay,
Yes.
but there are, I think, a couple of companies who are looking for non-experienced people.
So Ms. Jana, do you have
I
some?
would bring it a little
Yeah.
bit in a different direction.
Yeah.
Nice.
One piece is, of course, companies searching for work students.
Yes.
They make job postings, and sometimes at first to fill up open positions, and then they are searching for the skill.
Oh, okay.
On the other hand is to say what you can do to be interested partner for these companies. Yeah, creating such kind of, let us call hackathons, to organize with the community around such kind of idea competitions, and then the companies can can come there and see what they can do already.
Yes.
So to make an event out of this, it must not be very expensive. You can do it also even in the cantina in the company itself.
Yes.
And to showcase there what you can and participate with the employees there. Also, companies have to speed up the understanding how flexible they have to react to the market. Usually you have an R&D department. This is very high level thinking, and they are doing all the nice things. But you have a lot of traditional business inside these companies, and this has to be maintained as well. And therefore, you need basic knowledge you didn't know in the school. You didn't get this in the school. What I said on the beginning already, you need the capability to be curious, listen, and to adopt. Like this guy, what Ashit was telling, he comes from the banking industry, has not the IT skill, and now he's doing a master in computer science, and he can make this practicum by his freedom with us to say, I want to learn how a company, IT company is working. Yeah, he comes. We can give them something. He has a fantastic questioning about this, stressing us with his question, because we are maybe sometimes also a little bit already in this way. And then he makes something fantastic out of this, what you don't have in mind from a customer point of view. And IT companies like we need this customer experience, this user experience, because we are a B2B company mainly. We are providing also even from our technologies what we are providing. We are completely in the B2B context. We have no front end, and we have then a marketing issue, maybe how to market a B2B company. And therefore you need some questions, what you are doing. No, I don't understand, it's not reliable for me what you're telling. So, and then, yeah, you are right, it's very difficult. I have to tell you in a different way. So it's also my challenge to bring this. And we also learn how to make this social selling from a B2B context. It's changing, yeah? People buying things they can see, they can touch, but not in a B2B. You have to showcase with such kind of competition and idea competition that what you are doing else.
Another point, just to interrupt you, is like also to being a mid-sized company, you have to be also attractive to students, and because we are not an Accenture, Deloitte, or Tata, or whatever, you know, like okay, come to us, like this is the big thing, you know, you will have a big life here. No, we are a German mid-sized company. You know, these are the values we can offer you. We can give you a work-balanced life and all the things, you know, we might offer you in the future. So we face this, you know, and I can be experienced in headhunting, in data science, whatever. They're not. They will go to the big brands. No, I mean, like in general, you know, because they need this logo on the CV, whatever, you know.
Yes.
But I think they will learn a lot of things in mid-sized companies more, because the flexibility, the creativity for people like the intern, the working student I mentioned, you know, are getting more valued, and he has time. Even our apprentices, you know, we're also doing apprenticeship, you know, and there's one person in the Berlin office, and there are many actually, you know. So his trainer gives him one task, the same task he gives to the other one. He does it in 2 days or 2 hours, and the other one takes it 1 week or something. So these are jewels trying to, you know, we have to actually capture them, you know, somehow. But yeah, the market is quite big of talents, you know. So,
but this is not a difficulty that the one guy is doing this in 2 hours and the other in maybe 5 days. They have just kind of different approaches how to do, and we can optimize this. Yeah.
Well, this is so interesting. This is so interesting, and this reminds me of a discussion we usually have in class about being humble. Because usually, I think one of the main characteristics, especially in terms of our inner selves, is that we go so much in depth in our careers, and we study. Okay, we do a bachelor's, then we do a master's, and then we do a PhD, and I can say that I know a lot. No, no, really, not really. After. Exactly. You know, maybe today, right? Maybe tomorrow, especially on AI, especially on IT, it's something else. And we should, when you're both saying your experience, telling us your experience, I remember this discussion I usually have with my students that we should be humble. We should know that we know something today and we have some experience here today, tomorrow, gone.
True.
And
Yeah, and
But
this
now-
humble, I just interrupt
sure.
you, being humble is not just being humble. Humble means that you know where you come from and what is your DNA. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you also know what, that you need some basics you have to learn before you start. Yeah, of course you can do also fast money somehow,
Yes.
but at first you have also to understand this before you can do fast money.
Exactly.
And to learn and to fail and to stand up again and start again, whatever. This is such kind of theoretically talk about this, but this is the only way you can
The
do.
only
And
way.
this is also related when we come back to this layoff topic. You have not be afraid of these layoffs when you know what you do and for what you're doing this.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's of course, Germany is maybe not the market today where layoffs is a kind of positive sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? This we have also to respect. So
Mhm.
I'm maybe not the only not foreigner. Yeah. So and we have to respect that companies. It's a kind of market if you get fired,
Sure.
because nobody's asking what was the reason for blah blah blah. You just only got fired. And this is something where maybe smaller companies are a better market for you because they are more flexible and also giving somebody a better chance who comes outside of this process.
Sure. Which reminds me of what he said. A paper is just a paper,
Yes.
which is it's here. It's
Mhm.
here now. And I should think about this.
Yeah, of course.
But now I have a question to both of you.
Sure.
What are the papers we need? We need papers, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
also need to develop our skills. We need to develop our inner selves.
Yeah.
But also, you need what is the papers we need
Mm.
to? What do you think are the trends for 2023 in terms of papers? What are the papers we need?
Do we?
You might start.
Yeah.
Do we?
Do we? We are having this discussion today. Do we still need them?
Mhm.
Or should we just throw them out?
No, I think this is always a good reputation for yourself to reach a target. It's also a kind of competition, of course, that somebody outside can compete. But it should be not the only way to decide for a person. Yeah, I had in the past some discussions also that I hired person that just have done apprenticeship for a position where we usually took people they have done a university degree. You say, why? He did it in his second time, a second education on the apprentice. And he decided by his motivation to this. And this was the best decision. I had this guy 15 years long and
Very
was
nice.
fantastic, and he developed himself in a great way.
Very beautiful.
And I had a big discussion with my bosses in this time to say, I need a person who likes to work and not just become a manager. So, and this is the point, management, what is management means. I would strengthen more the point of leadership, and as a leader, you can be even a programmer. Yeah? So because you are standing in the room and give somebody orientation and tell somebody else, and this also, this is my DNA. Yeah? I have done management. I was a vice president, whatever. So, but on the end, I stepped out of this process to be that what I am. So I like to stay in the room, to tell my experience as well, and also to do something together and have fun together, and not just administer people that they are. Do you have worked 8 hours or 9 hours? Now you have overtime. I have to speak with the Workers' Council. This is not my job, what I have learned in the past.
Yeah.
So this was the decision to go out. Somebody else will like this.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should do what he likes.
Wow, I had this discussion today in class, and like is an emotion, right?
Yeah.
And we are having here a discussion of IT and artificial intelligence and all these hot topics they are having now. The emotions are shaping the way we choose our jobs, the way we go for jobs. Something very strong was said. I don't want a manager. I want somebody who likes a feeling, right? Who likes to work. And that's beautiful. That's the future, in my opinion, as well.
Maybe another experience I can share here is like when I was looking for people, let's say 5 years back or something for let me just say Node.js developers or JavaScript developers. What was important for the companies I was headhunting for, like startups, for example, they were asking like, okay, if the guy has 2 years of experience, that's fine. Check for the GitHub, check for the Bitbucket, what kind of projects they were doing, you know. And I think in data science, if I may say so, I think there are more creativity. I mean, like you can do much,
Yes.
much more, you
Yes.
know, on your own. And this is something you can build up, you know, on your own. And of course, you have all the guidance here and for asking them if this is the right way, you know. So you can build up your own CV. There might be no experience as such in real industry, but at the end, if you've done your project on your own, or in former times it was like mobile development, all this Play Store and all this iOS, now it's called Flutter and everything, right? So it's you have to go with the trend, you know. As far as I know regarding the paper thing, because there are in our industries some conditions for candidates we send. For example, there has to be ISTQB certified, like in testing, or Scrum Master. You know, it's good to learn these basics. You know, Scrum Master, or being how to use Scrum at least. You know, so if you work in a company, you are part of the infrastructure. You know, so infrastructure means you're part of something big to hold that house. You know, to hold the company. So you have to know these basics. You can't call it, as I said, Scrum, ITIL, whatever you.
The papers. The
Yes.
papers.
The papers.
The papers.
The papers.
Back to the papers, you know. If you don't learn these lessons, you know, you don't know even how to keep that house, you know, up, you know. So that's why also choose, because your time is limited, you know, what kind of certificates are making sense, you know. And so this is what I can tell you, you know, but depends on what kind of studies you're doing, you know. But it's, I think, important.
Okay, so let's talk about something with the AI. ChatGPT 3 is a very hot topic, but my question is here, do you think that AI will really replace some of the jobs? And do you suggest this thing also to everyone to at least learn one of the programming languages? That can be R, Python, or what is your suggestion on this one?
You start.
Yes.
My suggestion on this is, if you like to try, you have also to learn.
Yes, of course.
So, and this is the point. And for that, you need a programming language. And today it's Python and whatever. And I
Yes.
think it's also important not just using only the front-end tools,
Yes.
also using the programming tools to understand the front ends, because front ends, from a user experience, also following the programming style somehow to understand this. And I think, yes, it will replace some jobs,
Yes.
because also mainly in nations where standardization and cost efficiency is very important. But I'm also a friend to think about the ethics.
Okay.
And I also, in a lecture for RPA, robotic process automation, and we have this topic about ethics in this. What does it mean also to understand, and I talk this with the computer science people, yeah, because they, oh, nice tool, or they say, others, they say clicky, clicky, and this makes no fun, but clicky, clicky, you need to program at first, yeah. And this is also to make the right job orientation at first, in which direction you want. We need people, they can develop AI to make it for us nice. They don't want to use it, also the programming language, yeah. And this is a very high intelligence. But to use finally AI to make some standard activities, I'm personally a friend of this by myself. And I save a lot of time.
If I sum up, can I say like this way, like some people we need who can create AI, and some people we need who knows how to use the AI.
Correct.
Is this the way that we can say, simplify it, right?
Very simplified, yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
So like, okay, it is not necessary for everyone to learn programming language, because if I
No.
take the example of Scrum, project management tools and everything, like nowadays Monday.com is very popular. So most of the people, they know how to create Monday.com, but most of them, they know how to use it,
Yeah, correct.
right? So it can be categorized in two ways.
Correct, but a bit of understanding how a program is working also you need today. I
Yes,
can't say what
the
happened
logical
in
thinking.
10 years,
Yeah.
but today
Yes,
I would say
yes.
you need it as well, because also robotic solutions,
Yes.
you have to program somehow. Yeah,
So logical thinking.
logical thinking is
Yes.
important, analytical thinking is important.
Okay.
Yes.
And this, when we were talking about this, we have, just for you guys all to understand, I have two guys from IT and a guy from marketing here.
Yes. Yes.
Then when we talk about the word language,
Yeah.
reminds me that yesterday I was having German language lessons. So, oh God, we are going to an event and then we talk about the future of IT and then we need to learn another language after German language.
Yes.
And then what do you guys think? Because from what I can see is some skills we need to learn this language, some skills we don't need to learn this language. Let's do the other way around, which is better. Some jobs we need to learn this language, some jobs also positions we don't need to know this language. But what are the skills for the ones that, like me, we not now, I don't need to learn this language now, for example, as putting myself on the shoes of my students. Which kind of, so what should I learn right now?
I think, as Jana correctly said, I think it's the back end is very strong. You have to be OOP strong, you know, database strong, you know. Then the basics is clear. You know what I always mention: be good in the basics. You know, so it can be PHP, Java, Python. You know, so if you know OOP, database, data migration, whatever, this back end is the facility, the soil of every programming language, right? Then I think adapting new languages will be easier or to understand them, you know, and then because currently in our company we have very strong developers, now architects, you know, they're learning tools based on Java, based on Node, based on whatever, you know. So for them it's just maybe 2 or 3 weeks or 1 month's course because it's based on the language they have learned before, you know. So that's why I think that's what I can tell, you know. And maybe one thing regarding this AI thing, because it also affected me a bit as a recruiter. A lot of interesting companies came up with, you know, Ashit, we don't need you, you know. We have
oh God, you have a job still, right? Imagine.
We do it over AI tool, you know. The CV comes, you know, and then we filter. Okay, cool, great. Because I saw a lot of products in India actually, you know, which are great actually, you know. And at some part, you know, it's like, you know.
She wants to say. we're going there. We're going there.
I don't know how strong Brazil is, but I'm sure they have also some talents, you know. But when it comes to the AI part, you know, I think Asian countries are quite strong, you know. And so I saw some interesting products actually, which can replace to a certain part the HR recruiter, you know. Which makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Especially when the CV, and that's the thing about integration.
That's what I mean.
It's written in the right format, you know. So the CV has to be in the right format that the AI system recognizes name, blah, 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 and does this chatbot thing, right?
Yes,
like in the beginning.
Yes, it's almost.
So now, after all the questions has been answered correctly, or let's say from 10 points, you made 7 points to qualify him to go to where? To HR, to CTO directly, you know. So at that point, I think, and this is also the ethical thing, you know, where the human part, the factor has to be there. But because at the end we're hiring humans, and humans should hire humans only, and not a machine, you know, not an AI system.
That makes sense.
Why not? Why not? I'm just kidding.
And this is something where I was like okay, thinking, and then I called all my clients like, hey, what's up with you? I'm like, AI or me or our company? I said, no, we trust you. Like, see, this word trust feeling, empathy, you know, they're not made for the machine, you know. And same thing comes with hiring, you know. So it's all a passion we are doing here and learning. And so these things are programmed by people with passion and feeling to a machine. But it cannot never express that passion and empathy or sympathy to a person who are hiring for your company. No, this is my opinion. I'm not against AI. You know? It should be there.
From a technical point of view, fantastic applications.
Yes, of course.
They are
improving. You got
improving.
out very well.
Yes.
We're an innovation company here.
Exactly.
I bring my robot today with me.
Miss Jana, you want to say something?
Yeah, about this, I participated in an event in Asia about AI and human resource. Yeah? And even the manager can be replaced because he can just delegate the job to fire somebody to the AI system. I was really a little bit shocked about this development. So I'm absolutely with Asset, but maybe it's also old thinking. Yeah, we have also to think in ourselves. I would not like this.
Yes.
Yeah? Even I also not like the big bucket and whatever analysis. Yeah. So, but it's this is the old-fashioned style, maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and this I have to reflect, and the others they like this.
Exactly.
And but humans searching for these companies they like, and also for these recruiters. And maybe you would create then your own environment, your own company, because you create something what you like. Yeah? This is, I think, there will be a really disruptive world in the future.
Then there will be more entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Then I can say this thing.
Absolutely.
You're right.
And they need a machine anyway for fire and
that's
hire,
how
you know.
then there will be completely different trend. Yeah.
Which brings us to the discussion of ethics at the end,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Especially
Always.
because the ones that are making this decision are HR. So imagine HR is deciding to fire HR, and then
Yes.
this is.
Yes.
I mean, if HR is not safe, who is safe, right? Yeah. And the job environment. How is it changing? In order, besides the job market, how is the job itself for these engineers, for these programming people? How is the working environment for them changing? I mean, from outside perspective, I would say from first impression, it's fantastic that you
Yes.
can work from everywhere.
I mean, definitely.
And how is it going?
Well, I think due to and thanks to COVID, I think things has drastically changed. You know, it's been easier now for I think. I have to say this because I experienced this on my own. You know, you can be a father, you can be a mother. You know, you can be having some handicap. You know, so the time you're saving to go to the office. You know, I think that's a big game changer.
Yes.
At some points. You know. And now this globally hiring worked at some point, you know, and also you can hire people from everywhere, you know, so it doesn't matter if the person sits at home in Karl Marx Allee or sits in Brazil, for example, you know, in some
wish.
you know, it's just definitely the time zones we have to take care of, you know. But I think it's been now easier, and now companies, and what I've realized in this company, because I just joined here recently, is even the clients, we have mainly banks, insurances, public sector, but also private industries. They're also fine. Don't come. You know, you don't have to come all the time to us to meet us for lunch or something. Just stay where you are, you know. But it's the human nature to meet and to shake hands, you know. And I think now after this so-called COVID time, you know, we would like to go on site again. So I think the environment you were asking, you were talking, I think it's now very attractive for people who are joining companies, you know. So there are companies like us who say, like, we definitely would like to have you. The work culture, and it used to be like companies like Zalando or Delivery Hero when I was working with them. Yeah, I mean, like, we would like to have that culture, family thing. Everybody should come, bring their own lunch and so on, potluck here and there. So it's been now not anymore so important. It's more like having a team session, a daily on every second day. So at some point they have to meet still. It can be 1 day per week or 2 days per week, you know, but it's very important to meet, you know, just to exchange, you know, what have you done on the weekend, you know, or what is your client doing right now, you know. So I think a lot of things, and we know it very well, in the COVID time, we lost the society, the social engagement of people. We were, you know, busy with other stuff, you know, and now bringing back the people to normal life. And that's, I think, I would say we are good in. We're trying to not force people to come, but to ask them, come to the office, you know. We are trying to have a monthly event, like a gaming event or a bowling event or a lunch event or breakfast event. Lunch event that people has to come to the office. You have to come to the office, you know. And also we are trying to be also helping and trying to follow up with people's education, you know. So, but because we have 3 offices like in Germany, and we are working mainly with our clients, mostly offsite.
Yeah.
Luciana.
I like this, thanks to COVID, that I can now move everywhere and work from everywhere. And I came from the traditional way, yeah?
Okay.
Staying all the time in the office, and then you had to approve that you go abroad, and it was not allowed to work abroad, and then and so on. So, but anyway, so it's fantastic that I can do this now.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's really not losing your work-life balance, to be focused on that. And I think more on the social impact. You have to train your people. What does it mean? And even your managers.
Sure.
So because expectation you are 24 hours available is unfortunately the common experience. You start this, maybe you like to work in the night, yeah, it's okay. But somehow meetings starting in the morning and you have to be there. And immediately you are in this move. So this is something, even if you work over several time zones, you have to find ways to get a common slot where such kind of meetings, they are important for everybody in a time. They are respecting the working time. And this is not easy. It's even in Europe not easy to do, because we have between South Europe and North Europe different behaviors. How you do lunchtime. Lunchtime starts in North 11:30 and in the South around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So in this time, and I manage such meeting teams and so on, in this time you can't do any meeting. So then you have only the morning, but they're starting at 10 in the south, in the north at about 6:30, and that's the next problem. So then you have it in the afternoon, and somehow you have to do your work as well. And this is, I think, this discipline, this training, this education on the social skill set is important, and to listen even also for the healthy status of the people. This is important. What we also try to do, we give this freedom, but people have to learn to talk about this.
This is a trend.
Yeah.
People need to learn to talk with humans, not with IT.
Correct.
And that's super interesting, because at the end, even when you go for companies such as yours, there is B2B, there are humans there. We're not selling to machines. And then we need to have these interpersonal skills for sure. I agree with you.
But even you have to also to learn to bring them out, to be flexible, to make some ideas, bring some ideas to the table.
Sure.
It's sometimes impressive how less creativity is there. So it's
Sure.
And this is something I really invite you all, be curious, and bring some ideas and talk and stress your managers and whatever. They are there also to answer to questions and to find ways.
Good. Swati, do you have another question?
Yes, something related to this one. Let's talk about the young generation. We are not that old, but still I'm talking about the young generation and who are quite new to this office culture and everything, let's say students.
Yeah.
So do you face that problem when it comes to that hybrid and remote work, means to make up their mind? Because I personally believe we are from that generation. We were okay with the office work. We were still okay with the remote work. Now we are okay also with the hybrid work. But for them, it's really difficult. So what type of challenges do you face when you hire some new people, especially the young generation?
Expectations,
Yes.
high salary, less work.
High salary, less work.
I don't think my generation is that different. Just saying.
Staying on the beach all the time.
Go to Brazil, I can work from Brazil.
I think it's very stereotype answer. This
Yes.
is not,
Yeah.
this is
No,
not true.
not
But
reality.
of course, it's something you have also to. You listen to yourself. Sometimes you say this. I say, what they are doing.
Sure.
But on the other hand, why we are so stupid and we working 24 hours and they're just 8 hours. However, I respect this as well, that they are so, sometimes so self-sufficient, so self-esteem to say this is okay. If they can live with this money as well, it's also good for them, and they find a way how to create more or to survive in this world, is fine.
With creativity.
Yeah,
right?
creativity, yes,
With
absolutely.
creativity.
Yeah, but sometimes it's the responsibility to take responsibility and accountability for that what you are doing.
Sure.
This what I face is not there, and I want to have some questions or answers to that. I'm just asking why. Maybe we as parents did not the good job.
Okay, this is a good reflection we need to make for each one of us, right?
Maybe one answer to this question: it's all about how you educate it as a person, how to educate the student who was the fresher basically. To come to the office, depends on the job.
They are so mobile friendly. They are not even laptop friendly at all. Yes.
I know, same here, by the way, because my job is only LinkedIn.
Yes.
So my wife is like, "Hey, what's wrong at 10 o'clock at night? You don't know the best candidate like this. This is the what I've done before. Now it's a bit difficult. But what can I say? I mean, again, it's about about humans follow other humans, right? So if the person, the student, a fresher cannot see a person, how he talks, how he sells, how he does programming, then I think there will be never, we're not trying to replace the person with yourself, It should be a different person, but it has to learn from senior people, from experienced people, right? And if it's like only remote and only like having, I'm watching Netflix and TikTok, and I'm doing this, it works, definitely, But I think and this is also a point she was mentioning, the leadership quality.
Yes.
It doesn't come off-site, right? So you have to be present, In my time being in Headhunter, being also like a head off many times, it just doesn't work over Teams, I have to say. I have to meet at least once or twice my team in the room,
person. In person.
with a white wall or something. Hey, guys, tell me what have you done, what are the goals, let's have a kickoff, let's have a wrap up, you know. And if things are settled, then we can meet once in a week, something like this, you know. But this has to develop, you know, and that's kind of respect you have to give the others. You have to have this education,
Yes.
and you have to find the best of both worlds, you know. And it's like now hybrid and being in the office,
Yes,
you know.
yes, no.
And if you misuse this, it's not good. If you use this kind of attractive working model plus workation, you know,
Yes.
which also happens, you know, I think you can make a very attractive working place for yourself, you know. And of course, at the beginning, you have to
Yes.
prove it that you're good,
Yeah,
you know.
yes.
Very good. I have learned a lot from you today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And usually I leave these 15 minutes in the end for my students to make
Yes.
questions for you.
Yes.
So now I need to request some help here. Where's the microphone? Because then the guys from home, they also need to listen the questions. And I also have here our YouTube session with some questions as well that people can make. So who wants to be the first one? Any questions? Sure.
Thank you very much.
Hello, and thank you for being here.
Just
My
one little
yeah.
thing, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Always tell your name before and then a question, okay?
I'm going to
Yeah.
it. I mean, yeah. Okay, thank you very much for being here. My name is Aziz, and I think offline we talked about the chat GPT and what's happening these days, and it's all the rage. What do you guys think about this? Is the disruptions in the IT market, is it gonna be like a huge disruptions, or because I tell you something, I played with it for a while, and it's frightening. I mean, like, it's, as Elon Musk said, it's scary, but it's exciting at the same time. And the thing is, ChatGPT is not a chatbot. It's not something that it's eventually you will discover it's a stupid thing and it's just like repeating itself. No, it can go to a lot of places, if you say. So, what do you guys think about this? Is it gonna disrupt the industry? It's coming from the same industry because I worked in the IT industry for, I would say, not IT, but the tech industry for a while. I worked in a system engineer in Motorola for like 10 years, and I've seen like people doing stuff, all right? But now I see ChatGPT is doing it better, I would say. So how do you think this is gonna fit in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
If you like, I can start. I think
Yeah,
there
sure.
are several opinions about this. At first, I think it's a big disruption and a big challenge and opportunity as well. And I speak about the technology and not about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just a tool and can be replaced by other tools. I'm just can only recommend to have a look into requirements, what you need, and search for the right tool. And also understanding, and we had this talk before, also understanding why it is so pushed in this time. What is the reason for? And this is also a good opportunity to think about your own software,
Yeah.
how you can use the crowd to test your application. There are several other tools on the market, and honestly, I'm happy also about this. I use it by myself, such as a similar tool. And I like it. It's very inspirative, and but you have to read it, and you have to understand. And what my fears, and is related to I have relatives in this printing industry, is about the IP. The plagiarism is about how to be protected for avoid plagiarism, and also if you use this, that you give them a revenue back, that you use such kind of pieces of books and so on. And the tools are not providing me today a source inventory. And this is something what I'm getting also on this, what they are searching throughout the internet and whatever, all the resources they are available, providing me a fantastic text. Oh wow, it's everything what I would like to say, because I give also the tone, great. But this is not really my speech, and then I have to work. But the good thing is I save a lot of time for the research. Yeah.
And you mentioned something about programming, doing the programming, like you mentioned something along the lines of doing something in 2 days and doing something 5 days during the discussion. I mean, if you're talking about programming, I think now with the, and this is what I experienced myself. I mean, I hate programming. I don't like programming. But the thing is that I had an idea about something that I need a program for. So I put it for ChatGPT in a natural language. They call it the natural language, as if I am talking to a person. And it gives me the code for Python. And not only that, I took the code and I tested, and the code runs like perfectly. There's no bugs, there's no anything. So do you think this is the end of programming as a language? Because now the thing is also with ChatGPT is about the right prompt. If you ask it the right question, it's going to give you the amazing result, I would say. Do you think this is scary?
No, it's not scary.
Okay, cool. All right.
For me, it's an opportunity, and also for a lot of people. And you save time. Even that you just, today you search, maybe the traditional programmer is also doing copy and paste, yeah? So, and you are searching in Google, make copy and paste. But copy and paste with the brain makes more sense. It's about also which kind of impact the variables you are using could have on the security to getting hacked. And the security awareness is one of the biggest topics. And also in this case, such kind of tools can help to make the penetration testing happen. You didn't have to think about by your own, write down the test. You just can use such tool to describe and have a double review, a 4 eyes principle about the test cases. You save a lot of time if you use such tools, and this is not new on the market. This is already since years common sense that you use such similar tools for this, and also robotic solutions for do the automation testing.
Yeah, thank you very much. The last point that I want to make about ChatGPT is that it failed in one task I gave it, which is the Turing test. It doesn't pass the Turing test, so it eventually said I am not a human. So, which was very frustrating, because I think this is the 1 mile that it has to go, and just tell me I'm a human, and let's get this over with. All right, thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for this question.
Good.
Hello, I'm Matteo, and I would like to ask this question. Like, you talk about that paper is a paper, and the human have to hire humans. Okay, so where should students and workers invest to stand up against these new entrants like technologies and artificial intelligences, since they can pass tests like the admission test to Harvard or Google Analytics certification and others? Like, because nowadays it's not like 1 month ago that our competitors were our colleagues. Now we have to stand up against these new technologies. So some advices, I don't know. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have an opinion to that, of course.
A paper is only a paper. I told you, it stays in our minds.
So you are here in a school, so get everything out of the school. You know, you can get paper, certificates, you know, use that time, the 3 years or whatever, no? What kind of
3 years?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years,
2
you
years.
know. So be as valuable as you can, you know. So on the job market, you might be the difference of the other person who was applying for the same job, you know. That's what I can give you, you know. But again, specialization is very important, you know, that if you are, what are you studying, sir?
Digital marketing.
Digital marketing. So what kind of certificates you need?
Communication?
Communication? There's a certificate for this?
You
Just to
should
talk?
have one.
To talk?
I mean, you should have one for programming. Come on.
Okay. You and me
Just for
talk-
programming?
Okay. So
It's a language as well, right? It's a different language.
most probably you have to do a communication certificate, you know. But anyways, I think this is what matters, you know, which qualified him to do this job, and others, you know, you have met, you know, in this period here. This, I think, you know, it's something, again, where the basic starts, you know, to be stronger, you know. And whatever you can see from new trends coming, you know, I would definitely try to be adaptive in those things as well, you know. Because market is keep on changing, you know, all the time. You know, today it's a communication certificate. I would even go in sales and marketing. Definitely, program management, project management stuff is very, very important. You know, how to do a concept like a process. You know, because in sales it's all about processes. You start from A and you have to come to Z, right? So this is something you have to understand how a house works, you know, how a process works actually, you know. So, and there you learn tools like ITIL, PMI, Scrum maybe, you know.
But the question was also about how that you passed the test with the ChatGPT,
Yeah, exactly,
for example, already. And this is the disruption of all the certification issuer, because they have to think about how they prove, how they give a proven certificate, but it's not just paper-based. And this is what a little bit what Asad is saying. Show praxis, prepare your repository of good things, and where you have your idea implemented. If you do digital marketing, you can have numbers, you can showcase that you did something, maybe go to a company and offer your services on the beginning with a testimonial beside. This nobody can fake. This is your testimonial and your work.
And nowadays we have LinkedIn also.
Yeah.
We can means whatever GitHub, so many repositories you can create, and you can show your work later on. So no need to. I think then we don't need our resumes too.
LinkedIn is quite strong. In
Yes,
the
it is
certification
actually,
part.
and in Germany is one of them is Zing, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. So it is like that. Means no need to prove yourself.
LinkedIn is a proper AI-based
Yes.
platform now, which is fantastic. Not only for recruiting, but
So
also
that's
being
what
for-
the AI and machine, I personally feel that one, they are helping us only for the present work, and we are right now free, so we can think beyond the limits. So the human minds can be used for the next thing.
Exactly.
But then we'll go back to this classic idea of, especially for LinkedIn, they're so stigmatized. And I need to be honest, I kind of share this idea as well, which is our life is too big to be in LinkedIn as well, right? And the kind of posts and content we see on LinkedIn, sometimes they're so biased and so made for it that maybe what is our actually skill in our inner self that we can contribute to integration works is not there. So
True, it's just the surface, like the cover of the book you read,
exactly.
But definitely, I don't know if you ever make a LinkedIn session, definitely I can tell you something about how to be attractive on LinkedIn, But yeah, how to be found, how to be attractive over LinkedIn, because there are also AI machines who are looking for certain skills, from recruiting companies or from normal companies, And then if these buzzwords are not there, you won't be found, So I'm also trying to be state of the art, but I don't get time, But it's something.
It's more about data.
It's more about
I
data.
didn't give him the time.
Yeah.
So,
I was listening only this.
Yeah.
So basically, it's true. It's true. I totally believe, but unfortunately, we're living in this world,
Sure.
That
And it's a game that you need to play and you need to
Yeah.
understand the game. And
Exactly,
that's the whole idea that I usually tell students. Don't overestimate LinkedIn. LinkedIn it's a tool that if you need to know, it's a game. I usually use the word game because it exempts better. If you know the rules of the game, you should know how to play the game.
Absolute, and you are limited to the algorithm with your DNA. So do you want to be, or you want to stay out of the crowd?
Exactly.
And then maybe you make different pricing. This is something in the crowd you can only make standard pricing, because you compete with all the other people in your. Of course, you need your presentation somehow. You have to showcase, but only be focused on what this algorithm is giving to you. For example, for my profile in LinkedIn, I'm very limited. The algorithm has changed because I'm usually stay on 2 locations in this world. Asia and Germany or Europe. Asia is not recognized. I didn't get all the information I got 1 year ago. So I'm just looking now how to deal with this. But you have to learn. The algorithm is changing, and then you have to adopt your profile that you get it back.
Like I also tell to my students sometimes, you have skills, but you have to show off. You have to be presentable. Like you know how to sell yourself. So I think LinkedIn and these platforms are very good. For the first glance, even from the recruiter perspective and from the IT perspective, all of them.
It's also nice to get recognized.
Yes, of course,
connection requests or whatever from the right people, and this is also good. And I can only recommend go to events.
Yes.
As now we have events.
Yes.
Also, even online events is also nice. You get connected, and then you have to do this. What you have to do in LinkedIn as well, follow up.
Yeah,
It's actually a good point because we are now back to normal life. You know, we can
Yes.
a lot of meetups like today.
I also recommend two websites, Meetup and Eventbrite.
Yeah, yeah.
They are very good
These are
for
my
these
daily
networking one. Yes.
Daily dictionary actually,
Yes,
you know, just to
actually.
check in what's next event,
Yes.
you know. And it's like in Germany there's a saying, but it's like you have to see and you have to be seen, you know. So being a fresher, and now in my first year of a recruiter, there were like big companies like eBay and
yes.
Accenture, Deloitte, you know, roaming around
Yesterday
to find
was
talents,
very big event.
you know.
Yeah.
And they're all for free, you know. So you can go there, you
Yes.
know. And I found my best clients with a beer and the britzel in the hand, you know. Like, hey, what do you do? Like, I'm the CTO of eBay or whatever, you know. So let's do business together, you know. I was like, yeah, what do you do? I was like, I'm a recruiter, you know. And the same thing goes, especially in a city like Berlin, you know. You just have to be, you know, a bit open and transparent and just be social, you know. That's very important, you know.
That's a
And
good tip for
Like
students.
network is a network.
and then LinkedIn,
Right?
and LinkedIn is just basically the
Yeah.
kind of underline. Okay,
Yes,
are you on
yeah.
LinkedIn? Okay, because nobody now exchanges
Yeah, no.
business cards, you know. LinkedIn, yeah, good. Okay, I talk to him, and then you start doing the interaction with that person.
We
right?
also started on that.
We started, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, true. This meeting is
Yeah, this
basically
meeting.
by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks to you.
Thanks.
So, that's something I can just give you all in the way, you know. And Berlin's the best place. The place to be sometimes is
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
Sorry,
good.
yeah,
Very
really
good. Very
good.
good. Very good.
You're from Brazil, so
You can
Yeah.
visit us.
you can visit us.
Any other question? Here. Okay.
Hello, my name is Eşref. I'm doing my master in digital marketing, and we are all new in this German job market. So this is maybe not basically related with the IT, but also I think it's related with the recruitment process. I would like to know, maybe we are all know how to negotiate the salary in our home countries, but I don't know how to do it in Germany. So is there any certain process to discuss about the salaries? Because, for example, I have some job experiences which is not related with digital marketing, but I don't know how the companies would appreciate my past experiences, or like a lot of different scenarios we have here. So
Yeah.
how to approach to the salary negotiations in Germany?
Very good.
Like my experience, because I did this job for, I think thousands of people already, you know, what to say in this interview, you know, because as a recruiter, I will tell them, hey, 50,000, you know, and then at the end, the guy has no proper experience in that, you know. So now, being a recruiting company and being the company on its own, there are two versions. So the recruiting company should know in Berlin with 1 year of experience in that field you're applying for, you should earn, let's say, 42,000 euro, you know. The pre-experience in a different field, unfortunately, won't give you a hike, you know, in the salary negotiation, you know. In terms of being a company, like the company should be also aware, actually, that a fresher in the field he's applying, you know, should also have that salary. There's in recruiting companies, because I used to work for one of the biggest one, or one big one, they have these salary guidelines, you know. It keeps on changing. Now Berlin also becoming like a Munich slowly, you know, and so that's something you have to be aware how to prepare for such an interview. And if it's a recruiter who gives you the job, the recruiter also has to educate you, like, hey, listen, sir, that this is the salary, you know, you should tell them, you know, I told the salary, you should not be totally different, you know. But it is like a drawer system here. It's like there's nothing to change. Of course, personality matters, you know, but it has to develop in the company after provision time, after a year, and there will be appraisals hopefully, you know, and then you have to prove them that you are the best or you're good, you know, to get a hike, you know. So I know it's a very frustrating thing, you know, especially if you bring 3 years of experience, let's say in a different field. But if you are now learning sales and marketing or digital marketing, which is very much into communication and into sales, and you have to be like this and that, you know, and you were a carpenter, you know, in your hometown, for example, you know, but you were the salesman of the carpenter, you know, so you can combine a bit, you know, a lot of things. So it all depends on the interview day, actually, how is your performance and how the person is opposite to you likes you. You know, it's all, again, sympathy, you know, so the human factor counts here, you know. But salary, unfortunately, is a bit written in the books, you know. It's not negotiable, I don't want to say, but difficult to make a very big jump, you know. So that's my experience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the job describe what you can get. As it's not the person, the job at first, the entry point is the job, which kind of job you are doing, and there's a related money or budget too. Yeah, and the companies have also ranges of budget what they are paying, so you can only make research on this, and the recruiting company can help you, or a headhunter, to get such kind of feeling, and then you have to say where you fit best to this position. Even you were a carpenter or you're a social media, whatever what you are doing now, it's something. Why not going to an IT company as well? Because they need this. They are mainly introverted. Yeah, they are not so talking loud and being extroverted on this market. They need good marketers, and this is what they don't have on the agenda today.
Very good, very interesting this one.
Is your question answered?
Yes, thank you.
Anyone else? Another? There. Have two. One here, one there.
Hello, my name is Gurpreet, and I'm studying digital marketing. My master's in
stand up?
digital marketing. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Sorry. So, yeah, my question is, in the recruiting process, there is this face-to-face interaction round. I need to know what we can do to present ourselves in that round, which increases our chances for the employment.
It's a very general question, of course, you know. So definitely your day form, you know. how good you slept before, you know. Your papers. You know, your papers. Mentioning again. No, the preparation is very much important. You have to study the client. Sorry, the client. Talking as a recruiter, you have to the employer, basically, you know. So basically, you have to understand what's the business model, you know. So they're not hiring the person only because you studied digital marketing. You have to understand the business model process, you know, why they want to do this and why they're hiring you for that reason, you know. So I think it's like playing chess. Understand the next steps, you know. So for example, I also applied for many sales jobs and I failed, you know. Even in a car company, my dream was to work for Mercedes-Benz, you know, but I was applying for Renault, you know, this French company, you know, like this is easy going, you know. They asked me what kind of, you know, parts of the cars you know. I said, like, none, but I can talk, I can communicate, you know. And he said, like, yeah, but it would be good at least to have some training, you know, in communication, or in car and repair. And I said, like, I can only drive a car. Isn't it enough, you know? But I think it depends on what level. So you will become a graduate, right? So you will have your first job, right, in digital marketing, okay? So now the paperwork is important, the references, the internships, if you also do internships in different agencies related to that company you're applying, you know, but it's very difficult because you as a fresher will just go out of the world and apply A, B, C, D companies. It might be an agency, it might be an IT company, it might be an energy company, where they have the same job tender open, right? And then may the best win for you, you know? So every company you have to study well. Definitely matching is very important. So if there's no recruiter in between, you know, and you're applying on your own and you are getting invited, which is it's one of the best days. You're getting invited, so you have been selected under so many people, you know. You can feel very proud, you know, and happy for this day that you can now prove yourself. So first round, it's like first impression, you know, counts a lot, you know. And the first round normally, if it's like an HR round, is the easiest round, I would say. And because we're always smiling, happy, and you know, welcome to our company. This is our room, like this, coffee, like this, you know, like Flavio is doing with me. That's why I like him. But it's mainly the impression you leave there. You know, that what kind of questions you bring, how much interested, you know, how's the structure, how do you do digital marketing right now, you know, how big is the team, what will be my position, my I perspective, very important, you know, like I did or one did, you know. So if you get questions, answer them directly what you have done in my experience. Even you have never done this, but I learned, you know, I did this experience, I did this internship here, my best practice is like this, like my eye, you know. This is one glimpse I can give you, you know. There are many things for this, you know, but I think it has to be a new session.
Yeah. Only for this question.
Only for this question, yeah. So we can definitely talk afterwards, you know, or I can give you my card or LinkedIn, you know. Then I can, you know, we can have a call or something, you know.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Fahan. I'm also a student of digital marketing. I have a question. Like, I have more than 5 years fintech experience in my home country. So we were facing many challenges regarding the end user. We are tech company, so I work with the integration and other things. So the thing is, the end user, were facing many challenges to use the technology because we are working on the technology, but on the other end, the end user who actually need to use the technology are facing many issues. For example, the student who have to pay the fee, and we were working on that, the schooling system, we made many softwares for the people to make payment. But it was very difficult for those to aware the end user how to make the payment, how to use the tool, and how to use the technology. So what is the best way to communicate them via presentation, to conduct a session, or to make some videos, to give the session via digital, and to send them a sales team to aware them how to use it. So in your opinion, what is the best way to educate them?
The end customer you're talking about.
Yeah.
Only user experience.
Yes.
You have your persona, and you have to showcase the user experience on your front end. So you have really to think about how interactive is your front end. You will not reach your end users with videos, with paper, whatever. You can maybe make a YouTube video. It's still a common tool, and it's kind of replacement of everything. But if the look and feel is the front and not intuitive.
May I answer this one? Yeah. Anyone taught you to use the Facebook? Just a general question, right? No one has taught us how to use the WhatsApp, Facebook. That means they made it so user-friendly that it is like, this is called user experience. That they already took their users in their mind, and then they actually, no one has actually taught us how to use the Facebook. So this is, even if I'm developing some software, even I tell my students, if you're working on this thing, you have that empathy feeling that if I'm going to use this software. So I think that can be the best thing that you can do with your software. That's why we get frustrated with some of the softwares. We don't want to use it second time because that is the user experience.
And each complaint is a requirement.
Yes, actually.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very good one.
But it's more like a sales related question, right? You are asking like how to do channel marketing and how to bring your product to the end client, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I mean, like,
Understandable.
you know, so I think there are different ways. I mean, like different countries, different culture, of course, you know. Here in former times, we are also now part of a lot of exhibitions, you know, where we showcase our integration cases, for example, you know. We are partnered with a lot of big players like Boomi, MuleSoft, Salesforce and everything, you know. So I think this is very much into sales, you know, which maybe we cannot answer fully, you know, but I think there are different ways of getting this user experience, either by, you know, a team.
Yeah, like Spitzer says, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever. Nobody reads a book for that. Yeah, nobody
no
needs
one
this.
did that.
So
yeah.
and we come from a time we had to write
Orkut.
documentation.
Do you remember the Orkut was the one? Then immediately it was replaced by the Facebook. That means they understood the user experience in better. If we take the example of ChatGPT-3, I personally tell my students, I think we are the testers.
Yeah.
We are doing the memes, we are doing, and so that they are taking those whole algorithm that will be better in the ChatGPT 4. So this is like user
Absolutely correct, yeah.
experience.
It's also like today, software comes out, yeah? You
Yes.
don't make any more 80% ready software.
No,
So you go with the 40% software, even
nothing
some-
is perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go out and
Yeah.
you just develop it with the feedback.
Yes, of course.
Each feedback a requirement.
Mm.
Would not take it negatively. If
Yes,
some
feedback.
complaints are coming, it's just a enhancement of your solution.
Constructive feedback. Yeah.
And from a social marketing point of view, I would just very early go out with my new product and invite everybody to give us feedback, and they get the incentive, they get the token of whatever shit. So, and then they
1
say,
month
oh,
for free."
fantastic, and they will click. I trust, you can trust me, they will click. You have maybe then a backlog you can't manage really. Maybe you have to create a new design,
Yes.
but you get the feedback.
And one last, most common question. There is a diversified culture here, many people coming from different languages. So in IT industry, if the person is from the programming side, they don't need to have a same language because of the technical side. But what about the sales and marketing team? If we don't know the German language, will take time. So do you think we can utilize our skills in the IT job market related to the sales and marketing?
Yes, yes. Yes and no. Different country, different ways of selling or sales, right? And technologies. And one is the language. Fortunately, unfortunately, Germany didn't become the major language in the world. Almost they won, you know. But it goes better with German if you want to reach out the bigger market, right? Different levels of market. Now, positively said about the sales and marketing part, because I remember that in my time, like there are Zalandos, there are delivery heroes, they're looking for sales managers for the UK market, for the Spanish market, for the Italian, Brazilian market, you know, Indian market, whatever. And that definitely is there. But again, if you're here in Germany, and particular Germany, you know, it will be always the German language, which will be always the major language, you know, to get maybe a bigger scope, you know, in sales. In IT, definitely, I think it's a good mix, you know, because we have a lot of mid-sized banks and blah, blah, blah companies, you know, but mainly Zalando and these companies, Smava, whoever's there, you know, in the market right now, they don't care about the language. You have to be good, company fit, you know, that's also what matters. Plus also, you have to know IT, you know. But I think it's a very important and interesting question, the diversity, the language thing that a lot of people, I think, are facing, you know.
Very good.
Thank you.
But diversity is also, again, opportunity. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like we Germans, we are like the Italian approach. Yeah. So the Italian style, the Italian food, and if you have a product in this when you make this, you play this, you will get your points as well. This, and you need to understand how the local market, which kind of, and you learn all these topics. Yeah. Each country has this, or each nation has the specialities, and this is not a language topic to get this feeling for this country. The language topic comes then for special words. If you use words, they are misleading, and this and I think somebody is hiring you because you are good, maybe you are creative, whatever, and this person can be a partner for your job to make this kind of double check, does it goes in the right direction. Important is the idea, in my opinion, and I like to work with our marketing together, give ideas, and she is also in our way is not a native German, so it's but she makes a job, but maybe the sensitivity about some words she's not able to understand, but this is related how long she lives in this country already.
Maybe the correct vocabulary at correct timing.
Yeah, and
Right. That
also
makes
if you
sense.
use DeepL,
Yeah.
AI tool.
Yes.
So
No.
DeepL. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you get the dedicated set on language back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
The culture understanding is important for the sales
Yes.
department, you know. So if you're coming from, which country you're from?
I'm from Pakistan.
You're from Pakistan. Okay, so it's a different culture, of course. You know, the way you grow up. The people who grow up here are differently seen the world. Also, they have never met a Pakistani, maybe, you know, or other people, you know. So it's like we always think we have to adjust to their world, you know, even vice versa, right? They have to also understand how we function, you know, and you have to find the common senses, common platform in sales, especially. You know, it's all about empathy and sympathy. If I recruit a person, you know, he has to like me first, and vice versa, you know. Otherwise, I'm not touching his CV, you know. If he doesn't trust me, there's no commitment, you know, and that can be also beyond language, you know. So it's a longer way, of course, if you don't know the language, you know, but it's a way to approach even Germans who never will speak in English with you, you know.
Very good, very good.
But the success story, as we also learn, to make market share, is diversity.
Yes.
Yes.
You all have a chance in this diversity game to bring your DNA in. It's a partnership.
Very
You
good.
make it.
Well,
I have a last question from Ms. Rosie Ellen. And we have 2 questions online, and then we need to finish because we are already over time, but we have so many questions.
Yeah, interesting talk.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's more interesting.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Thais. I like Thais better. I'm also a master's student in digital marketing. I actually have 2 questions. One's more related to my field of work, the other one to the job market. The first one, how do you guys perceive or evaluate the content production, such as copywriting, with everything that we are talking about ChatGPT and artificial intelligence in the tech market, in the present and for the future?
Can you sorry, repeat the question
The future of content production, do you think, like, with all these new technologies that we have right now, such as ChatGPT, is there still a place for content, for people who are producing content in the tech world?
Of course. Creativity has no limits, right? So today ChatGPT is on the market. Tomorrow you might have a super brilliant idea which ChatGPT didn't find out yet, you know, unless you tell him. So the human factor again counts to tell ChatGPT. So this house has been built like this. So ChatGPT has to be given this input, right, from a human. So I think I wouldn't worry about so much about ChatGPT AI. You won't be replaced that quickly, you know. And because you can walk, ChatGPT cannot walk right now. You can also walk back and left and right, you know. So the creativity lies in us, you know. Don't worry about all this AI and IT stuff, which has to be used properly, you know. So don't hide there and don't always put this up front, you know. I think that's what I can tell you about to answer this in a very humble way.
In this moment, just got other insight. It's about intellectual property. Yeah. Also, you should not use ChatGPT with your last thinking, research, development work, what you want to protect before you don't have to protect it. And this is something very important. And for that, you need also your dedicated own content, not putting this in any cloud solution. So this you have to take care as well. So this is something, if it's there, the algorithm has it for the future for others as well.
The second question?
The next question is more related to the job market as a whole. We are all students here, so we have different schedules from other people out there. However, we all have to work both to get experience and also to make money to survive. But I know that hiring students might be a bit of a stretch, or it requires like compromise from both sides when it comes to companies. So I would like to know if you guys have any kind of advice or tips for people like us looking for working student positions in Germany.
I can
answer. So this question is good for me.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, well, I think the bottleneck is always other people, you know, so never underestimate your value, you know, that you are starting your career in a super company like Integration Works, you know, or any other company. So I think, again, there are platforms like LinkedIn, references, certificates, lecturers, professors who can give you all these guidelines how to enter the job market, use all what you get from the school here, for example, plus your own personality. In terms of the tips I can give you, apply whatever you can with whatever you have, because it's currently limited, So you have to write your own story now, and basically that's the story has to start at some company, and I can just recommend everybody here, that every company is looking for new talents, and because you are learning the new stuff here, so people from if you're hiring senior architects, let's say, we are looking for senior architects right now, we were looking for working students and everything, So the senior architects will never change their pattern, design patterns, good combination.
Yeah.
So, or technology, for example. But you as a fresher, you must like, hey, I have this idea, I've learned this, I know this, and company which is open for creativity, IP she was talking about, this is something we need. Value, and this gives you value, which no one from 5 years experience will ever give back, because that person is already in a job, experience, is doing every day, every night the same thing, So that's the promise, people wants to have from people who are learning new things. Please.
Something in addition, how to apply. And this is the good thing on Germany. Yeah? Germany always is listen all the job posts they have in the companies. All the web pages of the companies, they have a job market, and go direct there and make research where positions are available, and they even speak about the work students as well.
Yes.
And each HR department has as well the work student catalog. You can just apply there. They are looking always for new people. Better is you go to an exhibition somehow, meet somebody in this area where you like, talk with them. Nobody will say they don't take a work student, because you have to be clear, work students are very cheap and they're very good qualified already.
There's also the Eventbrite or meetups, There are a lot of HR coaching things which is happening in March, I think, because I wanted to see how they're doing it. Maybe they're doing it much better,
Boot camps also.
Huh?
Boot camps.
Boot camps,
Yeah.
But then you are in touch with some HR people, like, hey, I'm, whatever the name is yours, like I'm looking for a job in a year, how to apply, So the CV is with her, with that person. So in LinkedIn, it's unfortunately the common platform to exchange right now, quicker way, So this is something I can recommend everybody to go to these events, to show you a face, personality, and mingle with them,
Very good tip, very good.
Yeah.
So online we have Mr. Haruna. Greetings from all this wonderful platform. So very quick question. What are the negative effects for AI on academic writing? He's probably an academic. Who wants to be an academic?
Yeah.
But I think we already mentioned it several times. The plagiat is something of the biggest topics. If you don't speak in your own words and with your own development and with your own inspirations, is something not good in the academic world.
Like I always tell to my student, we have created the computers. Computers did not create us, so we can go beyond that one.
Yeah.
So it's fine with that.
Second one, Mr. Payman. I cannot. He's asking regarding applying for jobs when he's not in Berlin. Any advice on this? Like, especially for applying jobs and abroad sometimes?
I mean, is he not in Berlin or is he in Germany?
He's not in Germany.
He's not in Germany. Okay, that's definitely something where an HR or recruiter might always think, okay, is he in the European Union? Is he in a visa-friendly country? How long is the visa process taking? If he's skilled, of course, he should apply. There shouldn't be any limit for him. Because now, still, and again, it's hiring time in February, March.
Yeah.
It's crazily what's happening in the job market. But yeah, sure.
Very good.
And there are a lot of other things. CV has to look state of the art. It has to look like the European standard format, maybe with a picture, without picture, in the chronicle way, from back.
But
again,
the research
That's
everybody should do before.
Yes, actually, that
Again,
we
on
need
the session,
separate
actually,
session
you know.
for that one.
Yes.
You are talking like this and you are answering the next
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
You already here. So
Yeah.
I will just avoid the next questions because they are basically asking the
Same,
same
yeah.
thing because they are foreigner students
Okay,
and they
sure.
want to have the same tip that you are giving.
Okay.
I think the resume format is the very big thing, and we can go for the next session with this one.
Yeah, only for this one,
Yes.
because this is a huge topic
Yeah.
as well,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Honestly,
Thank you
yeah.
for having this beautiful conversation with us. Thank my students to come here. Thank my colleagues to help me in this one. And it's looking forward for the next Café Scientifique, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.